Hi, I'm Dan Gable with Shore Murphy and Associates of KZ, and this is another episode of Big Agent in a Small Town. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our Shore Murphy and Associates of KZ YouTube channel so you can get notifications when we do post new videos. If you're starting a carpentry contracting business, obviously you need to have an idea of what your costs are going to be starting in business, and insurance is going to be something really important and something you want to account for to have a general idea of what it's going to be. So I'm going to go through rough costs of each insurance coverage that you'll normally have starting out as a carpentry contractor, and even though it's a range, it gives you a rough idea of what your insurance cost will be. The first coverage is general liability insurance, and this will vary some based on whether it's just you as a one-person operation, if you have any employees, if you're doing more residential work, or if you're doing commercial work where you'll need things like blanket additional insured endorsements. So that's why there's kind of a range here. But if you're just a one-person operation, you'll be looking annually at about $800 to $1,200 a year for general liability insurance. If you have one employee, that will be about $1,400 to $2,000 total for your general liability per year, as kind of a good estimate. Next is commercial auto insurance. And this is figuring a regular or kind of pickup truck or cargo van with physical damage coverage and liability as well too. For each vehicle, you'll be looking at about $800 to $1,200 a year. Or again, that's going to depend on what kind of work you're doing, how far of a radius you're working in, and some different things like that. Next is inland marine, and this is considering coverage for small tools and also products you're going to be installing as well too. You'll be looking at about $250 to $300 a year for this inland marine coverage. Workers' comp, a lot of variables here. Like we're in the state of Illinois, so our rates are higher than a lot of states are. It also depends whether you include or exclude coverage for yourself as an owner and what your employee payroll is. But as a startup carpentry contractor, you're going to be looking at roughly $1,600 for a bare bones policy to meet contractual requirements, up to about $7,000, again, depending on what your payroll is and if you're including yourself for coverage or not. Finally is a commercial umbrella coverage. And for each $1 million in commercial umbrella coverage, you'll be looking at about $500 to $750 for each million in coverage. So, $1 million umbrella, $500 to $750 for the year, $2 million umbrella, $1,000 to $1,500, and so on with that. So, just kind of roughly with all these coverages, you'll be looking at an annual premium of $5,000 to $10,000, or starting out again with a lot of different variables. Also things of, if you own a building or have any other business personal property, there are potentially other expenses like that as well too. But this overview of what you need starting out first day on the job. If you've recently started a carpentry contracting business or looking into and want to talk about your insurance, please reach out to me by phone or text at 217-932-2267 or by email to Dan, D-A-N, at shoremurphykz, SHOREMURPHYCASEY.com. Thank you.